Ahoy there, English learners! Welcome back to Listen and Learn English Easy. I'm your host, Sarah, and today we're setting sail on the adventure of a lifetime. You know what's the fastest way to improve your English? Stories. Not boring textbook lessons, real, exciting stories that make you feel something. Today, I'm taking you to a mysterious island filled with hidden gold, dangerous pirates, and one brave young boy who changed everything. Yes, we're diving into Robert Louis Stevenson's Treasure Island. But here's the magic. I'm telling it in super slow, crystal clear English so you catch every word. Plus, we're doing shadowing practice. That means you'll repeat after me and train your speaking muscles just like a native. So, grab your headphones, imagine the salty sea air, and let's hunt for treasure together. Chapter 1. The Mysterious Sailor. Our story begins in a small, quiet village by the sea in Old England. There was a cozy little inn called the Admiral Benbow. It wasn't fancy, just a simple place where travelers stopped to eat, sleep, and rest their horses. A young boy named Jim Hawkins lived there with his mother and father. Jim worked hard, cleaning rooms and helping in the kitchen. Life was peaceful. Quiet. A little boring, actually. But everything changed one cold, gray afternoon. The door burst open. A tall, heavy man stepped inside. He wore a dirty blue coat and carried a big wooden chest. His face was rough and red from too much sun and wind. A deep, ugly scar cut across his cheek. He looked dangerous. "I want a room," he growled, "and I don't want visitors. No one asking questions. You understand?" Jim's father was nervous, but the man paid in gold coins, so they gave him a room at the back of the inn. The sailor, his name was Billy Bones, stayed for weeks, months. Every morning he climbed the hill behind the inn with a small telescope. He stood there for hours, watching for someone on the sea. Every night he drank dark rum and sang frightening songs about dead men and buried gold. The other guests were scared. They left. Business was terrible. But Billy didn't care. One day he called Jim to his room. His eyes were wild and afraid. "Listen here, boy," he whispered. "I need you to keep an eye out for a sailor with one leg, a wooden leg. Do you understand? If you see him, if you see any man with one leg, you come tell me right away." He pressed a silver coin into Jim's small hand. "Every month I'll pay you. Just watch. Just watch." Jim didn't understand, but he agreed. What Jim didn't know was that Billy Bones was running from his past. A dark, bloody past that was about to catch up with him. Chapter 2. The Black Spot. It was a stormy night. Rain hit the windows like angry fingers. Jim was serving dinner when the door opened slowly. A man stood there. He wore a dark hood. He carried a tall walking stick, and his eyes were milky white. He was completely blind. "Take me to Billy Bones," the blind man commanded. His voice was soft but terrifying. Jim was too afraid to say no. He led the stranger to Billy's room. The door opened. Billy's face went pale, white as a ghost. He started shaking. "Phew," he whispered. "No, please." The blind man, Pew, smiled a horrible smile. He held out his hand. In his palm lay a small black circle cut from paper. The black spot. In pirate world, this was a death sentence. "The crew wants their share, Billy," Pew hissed. "You have until sunset tomorrow, or else." He turned and walked out into the storm. Billy Bones collapsed into his chair. His hands trembled. His breathing was fast and shallow. "Too late," he muttered. "Too late." 10 minutes later, Billy was dead. His heart simply gave out from fear. Jim found the body. He was only a boy, but he knew he had to be brave. He and his mother searched Billy's wooden chest. They found money, Yes, coins from Spain, France, and faraway lands. But they found something else, something that would change Jim's life forever. A map. It showed an island, a secret island, with a red X marked in the center. Above the X, in messy handwriting, were the words, Captain Flint's treasure, 700,000 pounds in gold. 700,000 pounds! In the 1700s, that was more money than a king possessed. Jim's hands shook as he held the map. He just knew, that this was the start of something huge, something dangerous, something wonderful. An adventure was calling his name. Story Chapter 3. The Voyage Begins. Jim ran through the night. He ran to Dr. Livesey, a kind, clever man who had always been nice to him. And he ran to Squire Trelawney, a rich gentleman who loved exciting stories. They spread the map on the table. Their eyes grew wide. "We must go," Squire Trelawney said immediately. "We'll buy a ship, we'll hire a crew, we'll find this treasure and be rich forever." Within days, they had a plan. They bought a beautiful ship called the Hispaniola. Strong wooden sides, tall white sails, space for 20 men, and enough food for a long voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. They found a captain, Captain Smollett. He was strict, serious, and never smiled. But he was honest. He was safe. And Jim, little Jim Hawkins, he was invited to join as the cabin boy, the youngest sailor on the ship. The day they left England was the happiest day of Jim's life. The wind filled the sails, the ship cut through the blue waves like a knife. England grew smaller and smaller behind them. Jim worked hard, scrubbing decks and serving meals, but he didn't mind. He was going to find real pirate treasure. But not everything was perfect. You see, Squire Trelawney had talked too much in the pubs back home. He told everyone about the treasure map, about the gold, about the adventure, and some dangerous men had been listening. Story Chapter 4. The One-Legged Cook. One man on the ship was different from the others. His name was Long John Silver. He was the cook, the man who made their meals. He had bright, clever eyes and a smile that made everyone like him immediately. Oh, and he had only one leg. The other leg was gone, cut off above the knee. In its place, he used a wooden crutch. But he moved so fast, up and down the deck, hopping and swinging, laughing and singing. On his shoulder sat a green parrot named Captain Flint. It screamed all day, "Pieces of 8! Pieces of 8!" the old pirate cry for Spanish gold coins. Silver told wonderful stories. He taught Jim how to tie sailor knots. He made the crew laugh with his jokes. Everyone loved Long John Silver. Everyone except Captain Smollett. "I don't trust that man," the captain told Dr. Livesey one night. "He's too friendly, too clever. And why does he gather the men together so often? Why do they whisper?" Dr. Livesey laughed. "You're too suspicious, Captain. The man is a good cook. Let him be." But Captain Smollett was right to worry. One evening, Jim was tired. He found a big, empty barrel on deck, the kind that holds apples or salted meat. He climbed inside to rest. Then he heard voices. Long John Silver's voice and another sailor's voice. "Here's the plan," Silver whispered. "We wait until we find the treasure. Then we take over the ship. We kill Captain Smollett, the doctor, the squire, all of them. The treasure will be ours." Jim froze. He couldn't breathe. "Most of the crew are with us," Silver continued. "They were Captain Flint's pirates years ago. They know me. They'll follow me." He laughed, a cold, cruel laugh so different from his friendly smile. "That boy Jim? I'll throw him to the sharks. Cute little cabin boy. Won't see it coming." Jim's heart hammered against his ribs. He was trapped in a barrel, surrounded by murderers in the middle of the ocean with nowhere to run. But Jim Hawkins was braver than he knew. That night, when the moon was high, he climbed out of the barrel. He ran to Captain Smollett. He told everything. The captain's face turned to stone. "So," he said slowly, "we have enemies among us. Well, Mr. Hawkins, you've done well. Now we prepare for war." Story Chapter 5: Treasure Island. After weeks at sea, the lookout shouted from the top of the mast, "Land ho!" There it was, Treasure Island. Green hills, white beaches, thick forests hiding secret caves and dark shadows. It looked like paradise, but Jim knew better. This island held death as well as gold. Long John Silver and the pirate crew went to the island first, claiming they needed to explore. Jim went with them, but then he walked off alone into the jungle. He needed to think, to hide, to survive. He walked for an hour. The trees grew thick. Strange birds screamed overhead. He was lost, hungry, and very afraid. Then he heard it, a voice singing an old English song. 15 men on the dead man's chest, yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum. Jim pushed through the bushes and saw a man, a wild, crazy-looking man with long hair and clothes made of goat skins. "Who are you?" Jim asked, shaking. The man jumped up. His eyes were bright with joy. "English! Real English words! Oh, bless you!" He danced around Jim, laughing and crying at the same time. "I'm Ben Gunn," he finally said. "I was a pirate once. 3 years ago, my friends left me here, left me alone on this island to die. I've been eating berries and goats, talking to myself, going a little crazy, maybe." He leaned close. His breath smelled like coconuts. "But I found something, boy. I found the treasure. Captain Flint's gold. I moved it all to a secret cave. I hid it safe." Jim's mouth fell open. "Help me escape this island," Ben Gunn begged. "Take me home to England, and I'll give you the treasure, all of it. I promise." Meanwhile, back at the beach, everything had gone wrong. Silver and the pirates had attacked. They stole the ship. They took control. Captain Smollett, Dr. Livesey, and the honest men were trapped on the island, hiding in an old broken house, surrounded by enemies. The war for Treasure Island had begun. Story Chapter 6: The Battle for Gold. The pirates attacked the wooden house again and again. Bullets smashed through the walls. Swords clashed in the moonlight. Men shouted and screamed and died. But Captain Smollett was clever. Dr. Livesey was brave. And Jim did something incredible. He found a small round boat hidden in the reeds. He paddled quietly through the dark water back to the Hispaniola. One pirate guarded the ship, the worst one, a murderer named Israel Hands. Jim climbed up the side. He fought with everything he had, fists, feet, courage he didn't know he possessed. And he won. He took control of the ship. He sailed it to a hidden cove where his friends could reach it. When Jim returned to the wooden house, covered in dirt and blood but smiling, the others couldn't believe it. "You brave, crazy boy," Dr. Livesey laughed, hugging him. But the battle wasn't over. Long John Silver came to the house under a white flag. He wanted to talk. "Give us the map," he said smoothly, smiling his charming smile. "Give us the map, and we'll let you live. We'll give you a small boat. You can sail away." Captain Smollett refused. "We know your promises, Silver. They're worth nothing." Silver's smile disappeared. His eyes turned cold and hard. "Then you all die," he whispered. The next morning, the pirates found the red X on the map. They dug with shovels and bare hands, sweating in the hot sun. They dug deeper and deeper and found nothing. An empty hole, dirt and rocks. The treasure was gone. The pirates went crazy. They turned on Silver. They wanted to kill him for leading them to nothing. But then, gunshots from the trees. Dr. Livesey, Ben Gunn, and the honest men attacked. They had moved the treasure months ago. They had tricked the pirates. The battle was short. The pirates ran into the jungle, lost and defeated. Some died, some were never seen again. And the treasure? 700,000 pounds in gold, silver, and jewels? It was loaded onto the ship. More wealth than anyone had ever imagined. Story Chapter 7. The Journey Home. The Hispaniola sailed for England, heavy with gold. Jim stood at the front of the ship, watching the waves. He was rich now. His mother would never have to work again. They could buy a big house, nice clothes, anything they wanted. But Jim didn't feel happy, not completely. He looked at Long John Silver chained to the mast. The pirate was still smiling, still clever, still dangerous. Silver had saved Jim's life once during the battle. He had also tried to kill him 3 times. "You're wondering if I'm really bad or really good, aren't you, Jim?" Silver asked, reading his thoughts. Jim nodded. Silver laughed. "I'm both, boy. I'm both. That's what people are. Light and dark mixed together. Remember that." That night, while everyone slept, Silver picked his lock with a stolen nail. He took one small bag of gold coins, and he disappeared into the darkness. They never saw him again. Some say he opened a tavern in South America. Some say he became a rich merchant. Some say the sea finally took him. But Jim liked to imagine him somewhere, telling stories, making people laugh, being charming and dangerous until the very end. When the Hispaniola finally reached England, Jim was a different person. He had seen death. He had seen greed destroy men. He had seen courage in the darkest moments. He had learned that bravery isn't about not being afraid. It's about being terrified and moving forward anyway. He had learned that treasure isn't just gold. It's friendship, trust, the people who stand beside you when everything goes wrong. Jim Hawkins was no longer a boy. He had become a man. Vocabulary and shadowing practice. Welcome back. It's Sarah from Listen and Learn English Easy. You just heard an amazing adventure, but did you catch all the vocabulary? Don't worry. Now we're going to learn 15 powerful words and phrases from the story. Remember, shadowing means you repeat after me. Train your mouth muscles. Let's go. 1. By the sea. Meaning, near the ocean, next to the coast. Example, they built a beautiful house by the sea. Shadow with me. The village was quiet and peaceful by the sea. Your turn. 2. In. Meaning, a small, cozy hotel, often old and family-owned. Example, we stayed at a lovely inn in the mountains. Shadow with me. The Admiral Benbow was a small country inn. Your turn. 3. Rough. Meaning, looking tough, wild, or not gentle also means difficult. Example, the sailor had a rough face and angry eyes. Shadow with me. He looked rough and dangerous. Your turn. 4. Scar. Meaning, a permanent mark on skin after an injury heals. Example, she has a small scar on her hand from cooking. Shadow with me. Billy Bones had a deep scar on his cheek. Your turn. 5. Nervous. Meaning, feeling worried, anxious, or afraid about something. Example, I always feel nervous before job interviews. Shadow with me. Jim felt nervous around the old sailor. Your turn. 6. Watching for someone. Meaning, looking carefully, waiting to see if someone appears. Example, she stood at the window, watching for her daughter. Shadow with me. Billy was always watching for someone on the sea. Your turn. 7. Keep an eye out. Meaning, to watch carefully, stay alert for something. Example, keep an eye out for my keys. I lost them. Shadow with me. Keep an eye out for a man with one leg. Your turn. 8. Pale. Meaning, skin becomes very white, usually from fear or shock. Example, he went pale when he heard the bad news. Shadow with me. Billy's face turned pale with fear. Your turn. 9. Collapse. Meaning, to fall down suddenly because of weakness, pain, or shock. Example, she was so tired she collapsed on the sofa. Shadow with me. He collapsed into the chair, exhausted. Your turn. 10. His heart simply gave out, meaning, his heart stopped working, often from extreme fear or stress. Example, the shock was so great, his heart simply gave out. Shadow with me. Billy was so afraid, his heart simply gave out. Your turn. 11. Adventure, meaning, an exciting, unusual, sometimes dangerous experience. Example, traveling alone through Asia was a real adventure. Shadow with me. Jim was ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Your turn. 12. Voyage, meaning, a long journey by sea or space. Example, the voyage across the Atlantic took 3 weeks. Shadow with me. The Hispaniola was ready for a long voyage. Your turn. 13. Strict, meaning demanding that rules are followed, not lenient. Example, my teacher is strict but always fair. Shadow with me. Captain Smollett was strict with his crew. Your turn. 14. Take over, meaning to gain control of something, often by force. Example, the rebels tried to take over the government. Shadow with me. The pirates planned to take over the ship. Your turn. 15. Walked off, meaning to leave a place, often suddenly or without explanation. Example, he didn't say goodbye, he just walked off. Shadow with me. Jim walked off alone into the forest. Your turn. Excellent work! You just practiced real English from a classic story. These words aren't just for books. You'll hear them in movies, conversations, and business English too. Wow, what a journey, right? From a quiet English inn to a pirate island and back again. If you loved this story, here's how to keep improving your English with me. Subscribe to Listen and Learn English Easy. New stories every single week. Practice shadowing. Watch this video again and repeat every sentence out loud. That's how you build speaking confidence. Comment below. Tell me, what's one new word you learned today? I read every single comment. Share this video with a friend who's also learning English. Learning together is more fun. Remember, you don't need perfect English. You just need to start. Every word you learn, every story you hear, every time you practice shadowing, you're getting closer to fluency. I'm Sarah, and this is Listen and Learn English Easy. Keep listening, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next adventure. Bye for now.